Hey folks, Chuck Holton here. Thanks for watching the Hot Zone. I'm in Canaan Membrillo, which is about as deep as you can get into the Darien Gap on the Panama side and still find civilization. From here on out, it's absolute wilderness all the way into Colombia. And this is a typical house that you see in these Embera villages. The Embera are indigenous people that still live very primitive lives out here. And you can see by the construction behind me, it's a thatched roof house up on stilts because that keeps the bugs away. It's slightly cooler at night. And what I notice when I come into this village is that things are changing. It's not all like that now. As a matter of fact, we're starting to see houses like this one right here, which are Taj Mahal compared to what you normally see. I've never seen a house like this in the Darien Gap. This is crazy. But the guys that live here, normally, again, this is 4 hours up the river or more from the nearest road. And so these people didn't have anything to make a living except for their subsistence farming and fishing and things like that. But now they're into logistics and tourism because of all the migrants that are coming through here. Now, the flow of migrants right at this minute is actually pretty low today. And there's several reasons for that, which I'll get into in a minute. But without a doubt, now these people are making bank off of this. I want to show you here. We've got Wi-Fi. They're selling Wi-Fi. They have rooms that they rent room for people to put tents in here. They've got a bunch of shoes for sale over there. And they're outboard motors, which they use on their little dugout canoes to take the migrants down all the way to the road. That's a pretty lucrative business for the people that live here, but it is definitely changing their way of life. And it causes a lot of strain on their resources here. I've mentioned before that they used to drink water out of the river because they were the very first village and there wasn't anything upstream. And now they can't drink the water out of the river because there are literally tens of thousands of migrants every month that are coming through there, and they're defecating in the river, bathing in the river, washing in the river, and not only that, they're dying in the river. Many of them drown trying to cross the rivers, and when that happens, their bodies rot in the sun, and that obviously taints the water. So they can't drink their own water supply anymore, and they have to actually bring bottled water in from Panama City, which is a huge expense and kind of ridiculous, actually. As a matter of fact, over here we have a little store, and if you wonder what kind of people are coming into this village, all you have to do is you have to look at the advertisements on the stores and it'll tell you. It's Chinese characters, and so there are lots and lots of Chinese coming in here every day. They're up to 1,000 a day, which is crazy. They've got apples for sale and noodles and oranges, lemons. There's passion fruit and pineapples over there. You can get clothes, anything you need. And if they don't have it, they will find it, believe me, and sell it to you. The people that are here now are just coming in out of the jungle because they pretty much clear this out as fast as they can. Try to get people out and have them get out to the road so they can get on buses and get out of Panama. Panama does not want these people to stay because they're very expensive for the country of Panama. Now you see here, this is an advertisement for Friendly Space. And RET, R-E-T, is a NGO that is basically a pro-migrant NGO that assists the migrants on their way north. And you might say, well, that's a nice thing for them to do. And, you know, humanitarians like to help people, of course. The problem with doing that in this case is that any help you offer these people is going to ensure that more of them come. And if more of them come, then more are going to die in the jungle. and they're going to be a bigger drain on the United States and elsewhere. So you see all the tents in this little shelter back behind me. They rent the space for the tents. Let me ask how much they pay for the tents. Ni hao. English? You speak English? English? Here. Okay. Nobody speaks English. That's very difficult for the Chinese come here. They don't speak Spanish. They don't speak English. So they don't know. It's hard for them to communicate. But I think they're making do with it. Anybody speak English? English? Espanol?
Yes.
English.
Video?
No. How much to
Camping?
camping? Yeah.
$3.
How much?
$3.
$3
Yes.
per night.
Per night. Yeah.
Per person?
One camping.
Oh,
one
tent.
camping.
One tent.
Yeah,
Okay.
one tent, yeah.
Thank you very much. So they have to pay $3 a night to pitch their tent in that shelter. And while they are here, they can rest, relax, get something to eat, take a shower, and they can they can take a shower, and then if they're hurting, they can go to the clinic and get treated. And many of them come in here in very bad shape because the jungle is no joke. And if you walk around out there for a day without changing your socks, you're going to get trench foot, and trench foot is one of the most terribly painful things that you can get. There are bugs the size of your face. There are, bandits out there that rob people, rape girls, things like that. There are tons of animals that will eat you. Everything in the jungle wants to kill you. And so the people here have gone from a sleepy little literal backwater village where nobody ever came, to hosting literally thousands of people a day, new people coming in. At one point I looked on the wall in the office over there, and they track all of the numbers that they have coming in every month. They've had as high as 13,000 people in 1 month come into this village alone, and this is the smaller one. The other place that people come to is called Bajo Chiquito. Bajo Chiquito is where the poorer people go, and they don't have as much money, so they have to walk further. They don't get to take a boat ride as far, and it takes them about 6 days in the jungle, and many of those people come in just about dead. We've been there, and it is overrun. That's where the majority of the people are coming through. They have up to 5,000 people a day into that camp a day. This camp is seeing up to 1,000 a day, but right now the camp is fairly empty, and I think there are several reasons for that. One is that Nicaragua has changed their visa requirements to allow many of the people who would be coming through the jungle into Panama to skip this step altogether and go ahead through Nicaragua and right up into Mexico. And that saves them a ton of time. It makes Nicaragua a bunch of money because they charge money for that transit visa, but it also allows Nicaragua to harm the United States in some sense, because Nicaragua is not our friend. Daniel Ortega, the president there, is communist and would love nothing more than to flood America with illegal migrants. And it's a way that they can essentially attack America without getting any retaliation. If they were to attack us with bombs and planes and things like that. Hey, China, English?
No
English?
English.
No English, no English. Ni hao. Yeah, they just came out of the jungle. They're kind of walking funny. Hello. So it's a way that Nicaragua can attack the United States without using its military, which would obviously go badly for them, and weaken America by just pumping this, costly flow of people into the United States. Now, It took us 4 hours, more than 4 hours to get up here on the boat. And it's miserable. I mean, you can see on my face, it is hot. I'm sunburned, even though I had sunscreen on. And then we got another 4 hours to go before we get back to the road so that we can go back to our hotel tonight. And so it's going to be getting dark very quickly before we get off the river, which is going to be very dangerous because it's already 3 o'clock. And so it'll be 7. The sun goes down about 6. I'm looking forward to that because then it won't be so hot. But being on the river after dark is supremely dangerous because the river's very low. There are rocks and logs and all sorts of deadfall in the river. And so I'm kind of watching the clock and going, man, we got to get out of here. Oh, look at this chicken here. We got pollo guisado.
Pollo asado.
Oh, es pollo asado. Oh, huele bien. So, again, these people are making the best of a bad situation. They're taking advantage of it. Venezuela. ¿Sí? Sí, puedo ver. Sí. Las mujeres venezolanas parecen así. Sí. There's some... ¿Ah? Muy bonita, sí. No voy a decir fea porque nunca quiere poner brava la venezolana. Si la cabeza empieza así, me voy corriendo. Sí. So they just came in from Venezuela and they're camping upstairs. ¿Cuánto cuesta eso? ¿Cuánto sale?
No,
Gratis. Ahí arriba. Wow. Increíble.
comida aquí abajo.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. So there are several NGOs that are here trying to help these people. UNICEF, that RET, which I don't know a lot about, but I know they're a pro-migrant organization. World Food Program, and the ubiquitous Organization for Immigration and Migration. And if you say that slowly, it will tell you everything you need to know about where they stand in regards to illegal immigration. They are the Organization for Immigration and Migration. So they are here to facilitate it. They're here to encourage it. They're here to pay for it. And that is an organization that is largely funded by U.S. tax dollars and donations from people like George Soros. That's not conspiracy theory. That is absolutely proven. And so it is an intentional effort on the part of certain groups of people to flood the United States with these people. Now, I say these people, it's not as if they're not human. They're wonderful people, most of them. And many of them are legitimately looking for a better life. What isn't legitimate is their claim that they have to come to the United States to find the better life. Many of them left. I talked to 25 guys over there just now who came from Afghanistan. And if they came from Afghanistan, then the place where they came from, they went from Afghanistan to Turkey. Well, Turkey's better than Afghanistan. They could have stayed there. They went from Turkey to Brazil. Brazil is better than Afghanistan. They could have stayed there. They went from Brazil to Colombia. Colombia is better than Afghanistan, et cetera, et cetera. And they're going to go through Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala, and Mexico before they get to the United States. Any one of those countries, they could stay there and they could make a good life. But they are coming to the United States not because of the push factor that is the reason that they need to leave their home country, but because of the pull factor of the United States. And that is namely Joe Biden and his policies, which are making it very easy and profitable for people to get into the United States right now. And so they're getting while the getting's good. Millions of people every year The number of people that came through the Darien Gap last year was 500,000. When I started doing reporting on this in 2012, it was 37,000. So you see what a big difference that is. They're saying that this year it could be 1 million, but it probably won't be because of the changes that happened in Nicaragua, because so many people are now skipping the Darien Gap altogether and just going directly to Nicaragua. They're shortcutting the system. Also, there are centers that have been built in Colombia and Guatemala and different places where people can go and pre-register to get into the United States, even as illegals. They can present themselves as an illegal migrant and say, I'm coming into the U.S. illegally and I'm going to claim asylum. And they can have their initial hearing, which is just a determination on whether or not they have any kind of possibility of a legitimate asylum claim. And then they actually get on an airplane in Colombia or Guatemala and Cuba, different places, and they can fly directly into the heartland of the United States and not have to do this at all. The people who are still doing it are the people who can't afford the plane fare that it would take to fly in. So this is the lowest of the low, is the dregs of society. And I don't say that in a pejorative sense, but they are just the poorest people of the poor. And so they have to walk most of it because they don't have money for any other mode of transportation. So it's almost like a barbecue atmosphere out here right here. I'm sitting here smelling this delicious chicken that's roasting on the grill right over there. There's people sitting at the table here from China and probably Venezuela, maybe something. Well, I see some guys from Afghanistan over there. There's lots of people from Haiti. A couple people from Haiti over here. Ella es haitiana. ¿Haitiana? Sí. Sí, americano. Yeah. Wow. Bonita. Haitians are very unfriendly. They do not like you to have a camera around them. And part of it goes back to their sort of animistic roots, their belief that you're going to steal their soul. But mostly it's because they know that they're breaking the law, and they know that there's a very good likelihood that they will not qualify for asylum because, again, they traveled through a bunch of countries. In order to qualify for asylum, you're supposed to ask for asylum in the first country you come to after you leave the country you're fleeing. And so to come all the way through a dozen countries to get to the United States automatically disqualifies you for asylum in the United States. And they know that. And so they are very suspicious of cameras and things like that. So, all right, that's all I've got for today from deep in the Darien Gap in Canaan Membrillo. And I am going to go get on the boat now and ride 4 hours back down to the road. And I'm going to cry all the way because it is so hot. Being out on that river is just miserable. And so pray for America. You can pray for these migrants as well. I mean, everybody should be able to live somewhere and somewhere safe. But the fallacy, the lie that they have obviously swallowed, and that many people in America swallow, is that America is the only place in the world where you could do that. And that's just not the case. So remember that when you're talking to your friends about immigration, and get to the polls. All right. God bless you all. Take care. We'll see you. Bye.